premise of this game? Do you have to like guess the advice?
We'll explain it. Yeah, we'll explain it.
You guys played yet?
Has that been in the basement for a while? I just feel like I've seen this.
Yeah,
box before.
we're going on, guys. Hold on.
The show is starting right now. Brian assured me this was just a regular show, but there's actually 4 people joining us at the table right now. This is the Street Fight holiday party. Thanks for tuning into the live stream. Those of you that are on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Periscope, all of that, we appreciate your time. No call-in show tonight. You get to go to bed a little bit early. Or stay up late if you're not working tomorrow. But we are going to be checking out the chat. So I will be reading all of your messages. We have the unified chat for YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope. So let us know if you have any questions. If not, we have some questions we're going to be getting into later from the Dr. Laura game.
Dr. Laura.
Dr. Laura.
It's Dr. Laura over here.
And I want everybody to know from the start right here, we are going to be doing live shows on the West Coast. Seattle, the January 5th, Portland, January 6th, Eugene, January 7th, Oakland, January 9th, and Los Angeles, January 12th. Thank you for tuning in once again. Let's get this shit started. Everybody's ready to
party,
go.
dude.
Yeah. Celebration. I made some nog. My mouth is super dry, so
yeah,
from the nog.
We're gonna take the Dr. Laura game away from everybody because they love it too much.
Getting into it.
When is that game
Too
from?
much morality. It matters. Okay.
I am my kid's
I got
mom.
it from the library
It looks
or
like
from the thrift store. I saw it and I was like, I'm gonna buy this right now. This seems very
Those are
important
some
to
very
me.
nice
Does it have like
colors.
a print date
A
of when
print
it's from?
date. Let me take a look.
Before social media, she was one of our guiding lights.
1999.
Well, it looks
Yeah.
like those like social.
And then
studies
she
book
was
covers.
naked.
It does look like a social study book cover. It
And
looks
then
like we learned German.
Yeah.
She got caught being naked. And then
Oh.
she said something racist. And then she's
Well,
gone forever.
Is she like so? Dr. Phil has to go by Dr. Phil instead of Dr. McGraw because he lost his license
Ooh,
for inappropriate conduct.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
But he can keep the doctor, but
No,
he's
you can't be Doctor. I don't. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. You can't be like Doctor your last name.
I'm Dr.
You can
Brian
just be-
now.
Yeah.
From here on out.
Dr. Brian.
Dr. B Man.
So you can just put Doctor in front of your first name.
Right. I could be Dr. Payne.
Let me see.
P-A-I-N.
I don't know if her license is still valid.
Her
That's
radio
fine.
program. Her website says that her show preaches, teaches, and nags about morals, values, and ethics.
That's
Oh,
great to do as a
yeah.
therapist.
The nag part
Yeah,
is just like, geez,
Where did she get
man.
her degree?
Let me see here. Let
I
me
feel
see
like it's
here.
like one of those Christian print your degree
Well,
universities.
Jason, our producer now, told me that you can get a $50 degree in metaphysics. You can get a PhD in it for $50. So I'm probably actually going to do
Okay, so before we get started here, let's announce who our guests are. We have all the way from Chicago, Illinois, a guest on our live show, Lindsay Martin. Thanks
Hi.
for being here.
Thanks.
This is your hometown, right?
It is my hometown.
I saw you were posting some positive things about Columbus earlier online.
Oh yeah, I was pretty drunk in my downtown.
So
But,
you love
yeah, I love it.
how drunk you can get here.
I love being.
You know what's
first
awesome?
one.
You know what's awesome now about like 2018 is like all the like fucking pretense of living in like a polite world is gone, and now all day Twitter is just like getting fucked up with my dad.
It is.
Yeah.
You don't have to have any sort of emotional regulation.
Yeah.
You're just mad and you're like, I'm gonna tweet about this
Yeah.
right now.
Doing acid with my cousin at Grandpa's house.
Well, you used to be able to just like go on the parking lot and like mutter to yourself and
Yeah.
like kind of kick air, but now I'm just like, I'm gonna tweet this to everyone who follows me.
That's true. Just get all your frustrations out. You have your place to do it.
So let me get an answer before we introduce. Everybody knows Drew, right?
Not
give
everybody.
Give him the real introduction. I'm sorry.
You know him from multiple websites. The worst things for sale. Toothpaste for dinner. What's your other one?
Like 80 of them. It's
80
fine.
80 different
Don't list
websites.
them
He's
all.
Drew Toothpaste.
He's Drew Toothpaste.
Drew Toothpaste.
On Twitter,
Yeah.
you can find him anywhere.
Funny guy extraordinaire. Will kick your ass if it's the right time frame.
Yeah, you got to get there.
Yeah, gotta
Yeah.
get to it if you want to get it.
So she obtained a training and certification in marriage and family counseling from the University of Southern California, where she worked in the biology department, and a therapist license from the state of California. In addition, she opened up a part-time practice as a marriage and family therapist. She earned a master's and PhD in physiology. Yes. So at Columbia University, she went for graduate studies, and she has a PhD in physiology.
She should be giving better advice.
So-
than what's on
Yeah.
So if you're fighting with your mom and your hamstrings are also tight.
Yeah, like physiology is not therapy. I don't think. I'm guessing. I don't know anything about those disciplines. But really, who we have here for the first part of the show is somebody who's been gone forever.
Yeah.
And she finally comes back and then shows up in person
Hi.
with a fiance too.
Yeah, we came, Grove City Erica left Grove City, went all the way to Sweden, and as she left, she looked at me and said, I'm going to try to never come back.
Here
But
I
then
am.
here you are now, back.
It's
So
good.
Your plan got foiled, I think.
We're
Yeah.
happy you're back, by the way. We're not saying like you failed, you're back. We're saying like it's good that you're back. Sucks that you're back though.
Yeah, it
because
does
I know.
suck that I'm back. It's nice that I'm back.
Okay, yeah.
How was
Home
Sweden?
turf.
How was Sweden? Silly?
It's the same. I mean, there's there's McDonald's,
Okay.
there's Burger King, there's Subway.
But like, they
Walmart?
like, goofy
No Walmart.
Goofy combinations on the food though? Like,
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
lutefisk
like-
crust pizza or
Like
something?
pickled beets.
Okay, I
on
love
top
pickled
of
beets.
stuff.
Pickled beets like is the side order at McDonald's instead of fries? What? Like it's the kind of thing
I like
I
that.
think. I think about like I'll fucking get there and I'll try to get some French fries and I'll be like, we only have pickled beets. So I'm like, shit, we're fucked.
Dude, everything in Europe seems like it's going to be classier, but the supermarket that I live next to sold like camo baby gear next to like the
Nice.
groceries.
That's so good. I always love to know that people are trash everywhere you go.
Listen to this. Controversy. This is the controversy section of Dr. Laura's page. Libel lawsuit, internet publication of nude photos, use of a racial slur.
Brian, imagine in 2018 if you said one racial slur and that was it. Your career was over. Imagine.
How
Yeah.
many did she have to say to finally get caught?
It said slur, not slurs.
Yeah.
She said, you want to hear it? You want to hear it, guys? Are you curious
You
about the
can't
use
say
of a
it.
racial slur? I would never say it. We fucking know what the racial
Yeah,
slur
we're
was.
alive.
I think I'm pretty sure it's in my mind. We can all guess. I don't think she used one of the more creative ones.
No.
On August 10th, 2010, Nita Hansen, a black woman married to a white man, called Schlesinger's show to ask for advice on how to deal with a husband who did not care when she was the object of racist comments by acquaintances. Schlesinger first replied that some people are hypersensitive. Oh, God. This woman, by the way, is going to a thing.
She's the original triggered.
Yeah. This woman is like, I'm going to a family event for Christmas, and they're all calling me the N-word. I'm kind of,
Yeah,
I'm kind of offended by it.
I want a therapist who tells me I'm being too sensitive.
Yeah.
So then she asked for some examples from the caller. Hansen informed Schlesinger that her acquaintance had stated how you black people do this, you black people doing that. Schlesinger responded that her examples were not racist and that a lot of blacks only voted for Obama simply because he was half black.
Oh, no. Oh,
Didn't
no.
matter that what he was going to do in office. It was a black thing. You got to know that. That's not a surprise. Schlesinger continued by telling the caller that she had a chip on her shoulder and was sensitive, and also don't NAACP me. And a lot of what I hear from black think it's really distressing and disturbing.
She Andrew Dice Clay?
She is. I mean, you look
She's
at a
like
picture.
ripping.
You look at a picture of her, and she now she does look a little like psycho, like a
Oh,
little
That's a
bit.
picture.
That's who said it.
Like when you look
That's,
at her.
and that's the thing. That's the one she picked. That
Yeah.
was the best one.
We'll get a good picture of her on the screen for
I
everybody
want
here in a
picture from,
second.
Like, the angle of like that a racist person when you see something say some shit on the mirror.
One of those
Always.
videos.
Oh, yeah.
When the caller noted, it's not even done, by the way. When the caller noted she was referred to as the N-word by the individuals in question, Schlesinger complained that blacks are fine with cordially using the slur among themselves, but it was wrong when white used it to slur them. In doing so, she uttered the N-word 11 times.
Oh, no.
So it wasn't just one time.
It
It was 11.
11.
That's what it took to get canceled, Ben.
Yeah. Well, yeah, after nude photos and a libel lawsuit.
Yeah,
Like, there was already other stuff, but yeah, she
What a fucking
man.
awful person.
she got canceled in 2010 for
Why
that.
can't I say it?
What?
Yeah,
she
she-
did. She put
Why can't I say it?
She had so little contact and just built up this axe to grind in her head that she was like, hey, let me tell you what I've been thinking. You
Can we
know?
go through all those cards and see if she puts that in there? Like, what can I say?
You're married to a white person and they call you the N-word at dinner. What do you say?
But this is
Oh,
gonna
God,
be
she's
big.
hypersensitive.
You get where she's coming from now. So
Yeah.
listen to the mind of
Yeah.
Dr. Laura.
This is a game. Hasbro sold this game.
I know. That's the other thing. It's a fucking Hasbro game. Number one.
It's
And
not
number-
like a Bible study game.
I know. It's not made by a weirdo is the real point there.
Oh,
like,
I'm sorry, but like, they did publish a weirdo. They've got, I don't know.
yeah. I mean, it does on the box. It says no excuses, just solutions. Morality. It matters.
Like, they had to go through so many publishers before they put out that box.
Hasbro, man, did it. So back to
Last person at the table we have here, you know him on Twitter, his username Joshua. His name is Josh.
and we got Josh here. So back to Sweden. We have to get through Sweden stuff, Erica. What happened in Sweden with you? We will play. I promise everybody at this table, we will play the Dr. Laura game later on. That's a street fight promise. So what happened in
I will
Sweden?
not read this anymore. My contract got canceled.
How does
for-
that happen?
For au pairing. So they can give you up to like a 3 weeks notice, and that 3 weeks is paid. They emailed me when I was at my fiance's house in a different country on vacation. We think our daughter's a little bit too old for this, and we're gonna cancel the contract. They didn't pay for my flight home.
Oh my god.
How did you get it? How do you get home?
Cheap airlines and a Greyhound.
Oh my! So they
Yeah.
were just like you. Guess were they rich? Can I ask? you?
Very.
Like we're talking like ultra rich or like New Albany rich?
They have a foreign.
I picked New Albany.
level of-
That's true. They did fly somebody in to take care of their child.
They were like educated rich, not like inherited money rich. Like they had like good degrees, scientist rich.
Oh, okay.
But that's still like that's
New
pretty
rich.
rich.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
that's
new
enough.
rich.
That's
Yeah.
enough. Like, we'll pay for your plane ticket.
They
Yeah.
could have paid for your plane ticket. So what? How? So you're just hanging out somewhere, probably acting like a maniac in some other country,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, you don't have a job. Did they call you and tell you, or did they have the agency call and tell you?
Emailed me.
So they emailed you, and then
The
what?
beginning of the email was we were going to catch you on the way out before your flight that you would plan for like 3-4 weeks already, but we missed you.
No.
So.
Oh man, they were afraid of you.
I
To
know,
tell you,
yeah.
what did you do to scare them? Can you think of anything that made them afraid of you,
Your
Erica?
daughter scared me.
Okay,
Oh my
okay.
god. She's almost 13 and she throws temper tantrums like a 5-year-old.
Oh yeah.
13-year-olds
Yeah.
are mean as hell. I got a 14-year-old in the
But they're
living
different.
room.
Like they're like different. Like that's grumpy, and then yours is like stamping your feet and shouting
Yeah,
and stuff,
yeah.
saying I hate you, I hate you. It was that one.
Okay. Yeah. Mine doesn't do that. No way in hell. She better not say she hates me.
I mean, my daughter said she hated me a lot growing up, so I'm getting where you're going with that. But that's because we run a loose ship at my house. You're allowed to hate me.
But the thing is,
You're
is
allowed to
like,
hate me.
Full house, full of hate. I was like talking in a chat the other day about how like they were talking about somebody was like, my kid's helping me sweep the floor in my house, and I was like, oh man, I miss the days when my kid wanted to help, and they were like, oh, they just get in the way, and I was like, wait till they're just making a mess and then laying in their room all day.
but the thing is like nothing ever happened. Like she would scream at me in front of them, or scream at them, or scream at her brothers.
Oh no.
Like throw stuff at them.
Okay.
Stamp her feet.
Were you just
Lifestyle
watching her?
rich
Were
and
you called
famous.
in because she was an issue?
No, they like.
Were you like the
Like
enforcer?
Nanny 911.
Yeah, were you nanny 911?
They did not
Wild
prep-
American
they did
is
not
gonna
prep
come
me
in and
for this.
hog tie her.
They were talking about how, oh no, her past 2 au pairs. They loved her,
Okay.
and she loved them, and it was
Then
fun.
where are
Were you two, did she not like anime?
No, her brothers did.
Okay.
But
Did
she
you
hated
watch
them.
TV with her brothers?
No.
No, you were
No,
just
they
like,
were just quiet.
I'm stuck
they
here
were
with
kinda
this
weird.
idiot kid screaming at everybody. Was they screaming at? Was she screaming at you and cussing at you and shit?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Did she
though.
say?
The-
Did she cuss in English?
Yes, but so she was required at like dinner. I would make dinner for them to speak English, like with everybody else, so that I would, be included.
Got it.
And one of her brothers, because she started speaking Swedish, and one of her brothers was like, you gotta speak English in front of her. And she's like, no, I don't.
Oh. What kind of dinners were you making for him? I'm curious. I'm curious.
Pretty generic, like Hot Pockets.
That's
American.
American.
Okay,
You're
yeah.
giving them American
Okay.
food. Here's the
I
American
didn't pick
experience.
them though. I didn't. That's what they were used to. Like they would
Okay.
get up at noon, and
What
they
was-
would just like pour like those like pre-cut like home style fries on like a pan and
Okay.
just pop them in and just like watch
I'm-
their iPad. Swedish kids are no different. They just have healthcare.
I'm
Wait, so
100%.
what was their flavor of Hot Pocket though? Cheesesteak or
They were like big meat eaters, so it was like
meatball sub?
probably I don't know. It wasn't like
Yeah,
hot pot. It was
Swedish.
like generic like Swedish like.
Mm.
You got like the little umlauts over everything.
Got it.
Aren't you weirded out about like just this fact that it's this wealthy family that flew somebody in all the way across the world and they're feeding their kid Hot Pockets?
That's
Like
Yeah.
they
rich
could
people
afford
thing, though.
they could afford to feed them real food, like vegetables that come like off
Yeah.
of a plant.
They
and
can
stuff.
afford to just buy name brand stuff that you heat up.
I
Food
know.
They had
products.
like fancy food every once in a while, but just like every dinner was
Yeah.
like
You're on
a
your own,
taco
kids.
taco meat and taco shells. Like,
Taco meat is not a thing.
Did
How
they
many
do-
times do I have to yell
See,
about
this
this?
is
There's
good.
only one
Right.
kind. Ground beef isn't taco meat, first of all.
No,
No.
but if you use the phrase taco meat, that
You know-
implies a specific
you
thing.
you put like the little salt
Yeah.
and ice
Yeah.
in it in the
Yeah.
pan with some water.
Well, this is a little spicy. I don't use the whole thing. I'm not going to use the whole thing.
No, you use the whole fucking thing, okay?
Erica,
My
did,
mom
did
sure
you
did
go? Did you go full American? Did you do the taco shell, the taco meat, and then ketchup? Because that's like
That
the
is-
full
Oh,
Never
that's
heard of
crazy.
that.
Holy shit.
That's crazy.
Never heard of that.
They put
Get out of here.
They put ketchup instead of marinara sauce on their pasta.
No.
No
Yeah.
fucking way.
Yeah.
Did you
No.
tell him I'm going back to America right
That's
now?
that's what I was like. Oh, I'm fine
They're
going
telling
home.
you.
Like
I would have been like, we don't even do this in Ohio.
That sounds like someone like Felix would invent. Like,
I'd rather put fucking ranch
That
on
is a
my
struggle
pasta. But that sounds good though, ranch on the pasta.
Yeah.
they had like a
That's just
4-bedroom
Alfredo.
home. A 4-bedroom home in like one of the most expensive cities in Sweden. They're putting like ketchup on their pasta.
This is bizarre.
Right?
I know.
Yeah.
I'm like can't get.
I'm so
Like-
glad I'm from the dirt. Like that I'm not from
Yeah.
them like two complicated upbringings.
You said they were nouveau riche, so.
Yeah, they're.
What
met
did?
the-
Do
I
you
met
know
their
what they did?
grandparents. I met their grandparents, and their grandparents were like pretty average suburban for Sweden style families.
Okay.
It's just weird that they had all that. Like they had like a really nice house. They had a loft apartment above their garage that they were renting out. Like just wacky stuff. Like for the city they lived in, and then just the ketchup and the pasta thing.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
interested,
I didn't
'cause
this way was way different than I thought it was going to
Well,
go.
I think from being from another, because we look at the again. It's the healthcare. It's 100% the healthcare.
Yeah, you can be as crazy as you want over there.
Well, and we look at it like, man, these people are awfully civilized. They figured out healthcare, and then
Yeah.
I can't even.
We're so
fucking-
happy.
I can't construct.
she goes like green and purple.
I can't construct. What I'm saying is, I can't construct an archetype in my head of what these people are, other than like kind of a Lonnie with an accent, like a little tiny bit.
Part of my requirements for my visa was I had to take Swedish lessons for 6 weeks. So I was in like a class with like mostly like expats or like spouses who were a little bit older than me. No one else was from America, and everyone was going on the room bitching about their individual healthcare systems, like Germany's. And,
Really?
Oh,
It's
like,
like
no, they were saying like, they were saying, here in
United
Sweden,
Nations.
it's too slow, like it takes way too long. And then I was like, oh, I'm from America, and they were like all groaned collectively. Like,
Yeah, we're not having a contest here. I'm from fucking America, Ohio, baby. This is not a fucking contest. Ours is, we wait a long time and it costs a shitload of money. So eat that. Oh, I can't figure these people out now. This is like really shocking to me. I know that we romanticize people from other parts of the world because we
everything
just do.
in Europe seems classy.
Yeah, but it's not, huh?
No.
Well, I knew that there were rednecks all over the world.
Yeah.
Sweden is honestly, Sweden countryside mostly like Lonnie's.
Yeah, it
Like,
seems like
all
rednecks.
camo guys, like big beards. That everybody does dip everywhere.
Cool.
Dip is sold everywhere.
Isn't
It's
that
called-
snus?
Yes,
It's
Snus.
called
Snus.
Copenhagen.
Yeah, that's
So
a
that's
different
where they-
country, but
Yeah.
Are they handsome dipping though? Are the people that are dipping handsome?
I don't know what that means.
Like
Okay.
the guys here are, well, some of them are pretty handsome. Like dipping guys is like we got a bad
Yeah.
vision
It's
of
like a
dipping
trend
people.
now
Do like
for,
good looking people dip? I guess is the question.
No.
No.
Because here
Like
they
a
all
European
jewel.
cut suit and like.
I get like I'm a little curious because like it seems like these people have money yet they ate like people without money, and then the dipping thing is like, so are handsome people dipping? Is that something? So I guess not.
I don't know. It's a different.
They
It's
sound
okay.
like rich people from the suburbs here, though.
Yeah.
Like New Albany.
So they basically write you an email and they're like, well, you gotta get home. Like, where did you go? Like, what did you do at that point? Are you fired? Like, you don't get to have a house anymore?
Well, so they have to give me a 3 weeks notice. So I still worked for them for 3 weeks for full pay.
That's all.
Okay.
Very awkward. And
Well,
so
I mean, yeah,
it's
but
not the worst thing
Yeah.
though. Like at least I'm quitting, and I hate that little girl. So I'm like, oh, I don't have to be around her anymore. Like every
Yeah.
morning, like you're just a little bit happier.
Right.
But so my fiance, who's just walked out, I got confirmation to have him come the day that my contract expired. So we bought a plane ticket for him to fly from his country to mine, or to Sweden. Stay for 5 days after my contract expired at their house.
Okay.
So they let us stay
Okay.
as a fired employee
Okay.
in that room.
Interesting.
And we just walked in and out and did all our own grocery shopping and just kind of avoided them in their own house and showered and.
Okay.
so did you get a reason like why they dropped it?
They said that she was too independent. I totally understand. Like I would totally understand that reason if they had said to me in person or something like that. That would have been fine.
She's 13. First of all, she's 13. She didn't need an au pair
Yeah,
when you flew out there.
It wasn't her decision to have the au pair. Whatever. That's fine.
Is it like a law that you gotta have? Because Gwen has been staying home alone since she was 10. I mean, I know that's probably not the best parenting or whatever.
They did
but
it
it's
because they wanted their kids to learn English quicker. They said they wanted to get rid of their accent, which
Wow, that's
Weird.
sad though.
Americans fucking love foreign
Oh
accents.
yeah,
What
it's
the
me
hell
and Brett
is
do
that?
it all the
Impressed by
time.
it.
Our accents are hideous.
Yeah. Every time I hear somebody with a foreign accent, I'm like, oh, you're way smarter than I am.
Yeah.
Just
That is
automatically.
true. I know. What did they want to teach them how to? They brought somebody from Grove City in to
Yeah.
teach them how to speak.
Yeah.
Imagine
You're gonna sound real American, though.
Hey, you want to ride a 4-wheeler? You want to go get a pop and ride a 4-wheeler?
Well, the two places they had gotten au pairs from before were Minnesota, totally different,
Oh,
and
jeez.
Northern California.
Oh wow.
So they're not going to get any consistency. But I don't know. I totally understand. And even if she wasn't, a brat like she was, she was 12, 13. She's in a cool city. She wants to hang out with her friends. That's fine.
Yeah.
But it was just so uncomfortable, being there for the 5 days when you're not getting paid and you're fired and.
You just gotta grin and bear it.
Yeah, you just every time you walk in the house, you're like, I don't want to walk back in the house. But when you leave, you're so happy to
Yep.
not be around them or see them.
So close.
I'm looking at the chat, and here you go. Oh yes, it's Sweden. I'm in Sweden. Yes. I don't know what they say there. I don't know anything there. Oh,
They like
Sweden!
ketchup on spaghetti.
Oh, Sweden! I'll have a ketchup on a spaghetti and an IKEA chair. Yes.
They would not stop telling me about how great IKEA is. That's the one
Really?
thing. They
Really?
walked around
They're
their
like
like
my
very
dad.
sterile, like Nordic looking home, and they were like, "This is all from IKEA."
Nice.
Like it'd better be like we used to have to drive to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I thought
It's like my dad my dad talks about two things: IKEA and his Mazda Miata. So he's basically Swedish. These are two things he loves.
Proud of it. They were so proud of it. You see that foldable chair right there? That's from IKEA.
I can see that though. We do that here. Me and Brett will be like, "You try that pizza? Hey, you tried that square cup pizza?
Yeah.
That's the good
Yes,
shit,
real
isn't
thin
it?"
crust.
Yeah.
Yeah, edge to edge toppings.
Yep.
Yeah, we do edge to edge. So try getting that. Man, that is funny to think about because I know guys here. You know, we know people here. We all know people here that are like ultra proud of being from the same city that houses the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Oh yeah.
And it's people that have never even been to the school. Or,
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, it's most people who haven't been to school.
I know people who have been there don't care.
The thing is, though, there were two things that I didn't understand. It was the pasta, the ketchup thing, and then the second thing was I saw two guys, probably Swedish, like speaking Swedish, wearing "Make America Great Again" hats.
Oh
Oh
wow.
yeah. Well, I mean they're white.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
yes.
It was after that big election, so like Sweden had their election. They
Okay.
had like once every 6 years
And
when I
they-
was there, and that big
There was a Trump
Nazi party
Right.
got like a big.
Yeah.
Well, like more than they were expected to get. Like they're anti-immigration,
Right.
but they're also anti-abortion party. They did
Right.
pretty well.
Oh,
Gears-
yes,
Gears
make America
Wilders, I
great
think.
again. Oh, yes,
He's got
yeah.
crazy hair.
Hi, Sweden. America's great. Make it great again. Racism. That's, I don't know any words that
I
people
think
say.
the red buddy of mine up in Canada said there was his daughter's about the same age as my daughter.
Oh,
She goes
okay.
to primary
This guy's
school and said in Canada, in
I was
freaking
thinking this.
Toronto, a kid comes to school in a MAGA hat.
Okay.
One of the
Okay.
red MAGA hats, and then all the other kids were arguing. They're like, "You should not really be wearing that."
When my daughter was in D.C., we can have her come over here probably. When she was in D.C., one of the kids bought a MAGA hat and they shamed him and he threw it in the trash. They're like, no.
That's
No.
good though.
It's like hip to be like kind of woke, I think.
Well,
no,
it's,
their school. It's
Not
totally.
when I was growing up.
No.
it's unhip to be a Trump person. I mean, how could you look at Donald Trump and be like, oh, I gotta be fucking tied into that movement if you're like a kid?
Yeah.
You know?
He's so cool, man.
Yeah, that fucking blue collar
He's
president,
strong.
dude. What's
He
up?
definitely
Yeah.
fixed a car.
Yeah,
He
I
put ketchup on spaghetti.
Yeah.
He does for sure.
dude, he puts ketchup on steak. We know that. Well done steak with ketchup, right?
Probably
And that's
puts
Vince
it-
McMahon. He every day for lunch he eats. He gets a tortilla.
Yeah.
And he puts steak in. He wraps a steak in a tortilla and puts ketchup on the steak and eats it. And then one time, for a thing on wrestling, they were like, "Why don't we have the guy eating a burrito?" And Vince McMahon was like, "Nobody knows what burritos are in America." So yeah, those rich guys are all fucking weird, man. Every single last
all
one
weird
of
as
them.
hell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's funny though. I mean, I hate that you got fired and now you have to be back in America. So what's the plan now? What are you planning here?
Getting married and moving again.
Oh, so you're
Yeah.
gonna get married and move back like on like one of those movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's smart. That's
So
smart.
I guess I am leaving.
Okay,
Like-
you are going to get out
Yeah.
eventually.
I don't know if we can
Just a
throw another
hiccup.
party this time. That
No,
was-
no parties. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll kick you out of the country again, probably.
Well, no, maybe the party was bad luck.
Yeah, maybe the party. I don't
been.
know though. It just seems like you got it. Like
Yeah, I was
an
kinda
au pair
screwed.
for a 13-year-old. It just seems so weird to me. Like to get somebody to travel from out of the country for what? How long could that have possibly lasted for a 13-year-old? You know what I mean? Like how much longer could you have actually been there had it like all the way played out even?
Yeah.
Because they're pretty independent by 13. They're sitting in their room FaceTiming all the
Yeah,
time.
I mean that's too old.
But
Yeah.
imagine if it had lasted like 12 years and you were like au pairing like a 24-year-old. Like that would be fantastic. That'd be a really easy job.
Just you just like hold her hair back when she's throwing up in the toilet and stuff.
Like, what? You got to go to work now. I'll see you in 8 hours.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you, Erica, for coming in and informing us what is happening with
Thank you for your service.
Thank
Do
you
you want
for
to
your
answer a Dr.
service.
Laura question before you go?
Would you like to answer a Dr. Laura
Yes,
question?
please.
Let's do a Dr. Laura question. I'm just
This
gonna pick a
is-
random card.
These
Another-
already seem really mean. Like one of them's called a nag card.
I'm gonna pick a nag card, okay? Karen asks Dr. Laura, my best friend of 10 years is my son's godmother. She cut me off a few months ago and won't return my phone calls. I honestly don't know what brought this about. Should I allow my son to keep trying to contact her?
Wait,
That's fucking weird!
She definitely knows what brought him about.
So I'll give
Can you
you
read that
a
again?
real. My best friend of 10 years is my son's godmother. So she has this fucking friend she's been running around with for 10 years, and she
Like
has
me
a
and you.
kid. Yeah, me and Brad have been friends for about that long. I would actually make you Gwen's godfather. I'm fine
Okay.
with that. I trust you. You're a great father.
Okay.
You'd probably
Live
be
on
more.
the air.
He'd probably that happened live on the air, folks.
Yeah.
He'd probably be more strict than me, actually. So they're running around together. She's like, "You're my kid's godmother," whatever, which doesn't even fucking matter, right? Like, what
No.
is a godmother? She cut me off a few months ago and won't return my phone calls. So she's trying to call her old friend, and she's like, "I don't want to fucking talk to you."
Right.
You
This
know?
is back when you had to call somebody too.
I know.
1999.
I
Yeah, it
honestly,
wasn't like a dodging a text or an
it's
email.
ghosting. She's ghosting her.
Yeah.
How
Her
it's
friend
the
is
scene
ghosting
with the
her.
check mark next to it.
Right.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know what brought this about, but should I allow my son to keep trying to contact her? So what it sounds like to me is that she's having her son call and be like, "Hey, can you call her and see why she's so mad at me?"
She put her son in the middle.
Maybe she had like a Sega Genesis or something.
I don't know.
That's the only way he could play it.
Yeah, I don't know. She's sending her kid. So what do?
What's
Do
your
you send
advice?
your kid? Do you tell her to cut the shit?
And do I say like have your son stop calling her?
Yeah,
What do you
should
do?
you allow her son to keep trying to contact her? She's having her son try to contact this lady.
How
She
old's
doesn't
this
want to be
son?
around anymore. They didn't say that. I'd say 10 years old, though. I
So
don't
10.
know. We don't know. We'll say 10 years
Less
old.
than 10 because they're
Kids that age don't care.
Yeah, he's not even gonna know
I
what a
couldn't
godmother
see.
is.
Couldn't see a child of any age
The
giving a
kid's-
shit about anyone else except themselves.
I could name one of my
the kid's
mom's
not like
friends.
20 and then at age 10 she was like maybe want to be godfather.
Right.
Can you
Yeah.
name? Can we go around this table? We'll start with me and name one of your mom's friends. Jackie, I think is one. Do you know one of your mom's friends?
No. But does my aunt count?
No, you gotta pick a
No.
mom's friend. I could have picked
No,
the aunt.
No blood relation.
Yeah, I had.
Yeah, no, cause my mom has
No
people
friends.
she'll have people she sees, but they're like her neighbors, and they all like have specific things wrong with them.
Okay.
Okay.
Like that's the story.
So she's a devotee.
Do you know a mom's friend, Josh?
No.
Erica?
One.
Okay.
I
Lindsay?
think a bunch of them.
Oh.
Julie, yeah.
Your mom has friends.
Julie went off. So Julie, she went off at my brother's wedding last New Year's. This one of his friends was like, he's like a little bit younger than me. He's 28, and one of his friends was going around like very inappropriate, like kind of slapping people on the butt. He was really drunk. He kissed my dad, and so he goes
Real
and he
kind
like
of-
kind of slaps some girl's butt, and Julie beelines it over to him and goes, she's wasted, but she goes, "You need to knock that off." She goes, "You're a pussy grabber," and she made him cry. That's been my mom's best friend since about 5th grade.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought when you said
nice.
like Julie went off at a wedding, like she was like
No, in a
ruining
cool way.
it. No, she was like
No.
cool.
In a
That's
cool
like
way.
cool.
And yeah, my brother's wife is kind of like, well, she got a little attitude. I'm like, no, Julie did the exact right thing. That was fucking cool.
Yeah.
You should be Dr. Laura. Or Julie should be Dr. Laura. Dr. Julie.
Dr. Julie. Brett.
Yes, my mom has a best friend named Jane that she's had forever, and she is probably my godmom because my mom always said, if me and your dad ever died, Jane will take custody. Which you shouldn't tell that to your kids, but
That was my mom's friend is the aunt where if my mom now passes, my 85-year-old aunt will be my new mom.
oh, great.
I'm glad you have a backup plan.
Yeah, don't go away without a mom.
Yeah,
It stinks that
That's a
Katie
good idea. They should just pass the torch.
Yeah, my parents' friends might
pass the
yeah.
torch. They pass the torch. You're the new
You're the
mom.
new
now,
mom.
Okay, that's just the way it is. I mean, Katie, can you come in here and tell us if you know one of your mom's friends, Erica? We need to know. My wife says her mom does not have friends.
Don't be. Watch out, young people. It happens out of
It
nowhere.
does. You gotta be fucking nice to people.
You gotta be diligent.
Folks. You gotta be nice. You gotta call people, and you can not be. This is what my grandma was. Okay, this is the type of person my grandma was. She would be like, she would call me once a week, and then all she would say to me is, "Why don't you ever call me anymore?" And I'm like, "Cause I'm a fucking 15-year-old boy. That's why I don't fucking call my grandma." Okay.
And you knew she was going to call you every week, so you're like, it's fine. You would talk to her.
Right.
You didn't hang up.
Right.
Yeah.
You didn't tell her buzz off.
Exactly. Who fucking calls their grandma past the age of like 7? Like, I haven't talked to my fucking... Well, all my grandmas are dead now. But I'll say before they died, it had been fucking years since I've even had a conversation. What do you have to say to your fucking grandma? I can't imagine talking to my grandma now at 40.
They're cool. They can be cool. Not everybody that's old sucks. Just yours.
I'm not saying everybody that's old sucks. I just never knew what to talk to them. I would
Yeah.
always just be like, you call them on the phone and they tell you like they're opening apartments behind their house that black people are gonna move into or something. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So the 30s, huh? That was
Yeah.
cool.
My grandma would always be like, back in the day, I worked at a bank.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, great.
I didn't try lettuce
Everyone's
until I was
grandpa worked
18.
in a
I didn't try lettuce until I was 18. You know,
My grandpa said that. They
that's
didn't
like
have it.
people-
I mean, they didn't have it.
people laughed at me when I said I didn't know a vegetarian until I met Brent. I'd never met a vegetarian until I met him in 2010. This is fucking crazy. Because now, like, everybody's a vegetarian. It's like lesbians. Everybody's one of those shits.
That's true.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
It's true. I'm gay, so I say you can say it.
Well, I mean, everybody is. Like, it's just what it is now. You can be a vegetarian and people don't look at you like a shithead anymore.
Yeah.
They don't call you a lesbian.
They don't call you a lesbian.
Right.
Nah, I just don't like, I don't know. What? So, are you going to let your son keep calling this godmother, Erica?
No, it's kind of weird.
Okay.
Really?
That's my Dr. Laura advice. That's kind of weird. Come on.
I'd
like,
say wrap it up. I would go over to the lady's house and be like, what's going on?
let's,
Right.
let's personally
Fucking
deal with
yeah.
cut the
this.
shit
What
and
is
let's
it?
just talk
Don't
about
involve
this.
the son.
Right.
What kind of
My
white
son-
trash person is this
You're
that's
clearly
doing
close
this?
enough that this is your godson. Like, you can't
Yeah.
talk like, hey, what's up?
Man, people will get blood feuds. I do know for a fact that, like, people in my family have fucking blood feuds. That, like, Brent has fucking family that can't come to the state anymore. Like, you just sometimes with... Don't you... don't you have blood
not-
feuds?
It's not because, like, someone from my family will kill them or anything.
Oh, well, you got blood feuds in your family, though, don't you?
Yeah, there's people that will never talk to each other.
Yeah, I got blood feuds in my family. There's just people that don't fucking like each other.
Yeah.
And they will kill each other if they get around each other. So it's just like, we'll go to 2 separate Thanksgivings this year.
I had that too, and when I was 10, I didn't care.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
You shouldn't.
We're not going to see your grandpa this Christmas. Like, okay, I'm
Like,
10.
That's
I
gone.
don't have to spend 4 hours opening presents.
That's awesome.
Oh, God. I used to. The presents thing.
I'll hold it up so everyone can see it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I hate it when they. Like, I do this now that I'm an adult. It's the worst thing in the world. I let all the presents pile up next to me, and then I open them when everybody's done. And that's like my dad used to do that. And I was
yeah.
all like, what are you so patient for? Rip them shits open.
Right.
Now that's how I do it. And I show them off, and then I'm like, Brett, what was that you said the other night that I've been thinking about still, where you have to hold it up and be like, oh, I like it. It's sturdy.
No. When someone gives you something, you have to say that's a real nice one. And you have to, like, pull at it and, like, show that, like, the buttons don't fly off of it or anything. Yeah.
All right,
Wow,
all right.
that's a bold
Yeah.
color.
It zips up.
Wow, that's really...
It's got a hood.
Right. Yeah, you got to do the whole dance.
We gotta
I
get
love
Glenn.
it.
In our family, I think it's, oh, that's warm.
For me, it's always just like, what I do is I go, and tell him exactly one use for it.
Right,
like I will
right.
tell him one thing.
I'm
I'm
gonna
like,
give it one shot.
well, I'll just be like, oh, I could wear that when I go out to the car to get my charging cable.
I'm gonna spray paint this.
Yeah, you just try to give them like one little thing, you know. I'll put these slippers on whenever I have to walk out the door to take Katie to work.
My hands have been getting real cold lately.
Yeah. It's great. I love it.
Let's we're on a roll. You want to do a preach? Wait a minute. Let's do this one. Let's do another nag, I think. Okay.
Wait, what was
Leah.
Dr. Laura's answer?
I
Did
put
she have
it
an answer?
away, guys. I put it away. But I'll tell you, she said to have her tell your son to don't have your
her a
son
slur.
call and solve your problem. Yeah, she's probably calling her a slur. Leah asked Dr. Laura, I'm 14 and my boyfriend is 16. I don't like it, but I will explain why later.
25.
We don't date because I'm too young, but we visit each other and talk on the phone a lot. Last
date.
night he asked my sister out.
That's what that is.
Of course she said no, and she told me about it. He apologized today. What should I do? So we're talking to a 14-year-old girl who's dating a 16-year-old.
So bad.
Drew, do you have any advice?
Well, so we gotta take it back because this is 1999.
Yes.
So things were different. You know, families would offer their 16-year-old or the 14-year-olds dowries if they took a 16-year-old's hand in marriage. And so, of course,
There's 6
naturally, the 16-year-old was like, well, you know, I can't date you because it's inappropriate.
Yeah.
But you have a strong bloodline, so your sister is next in line, and I'd like to ask for her hand in, since it's not super old times, it's just the 90s.
Yeah.
And I want to ask for her hand in dating.
Yeah. Permission.
Yeah.
Yeah, her hand in
Courting.
dating.
Uh,
We're
And the
courting.
daughter's family would receive, you know, like a donkey, Austin Powers on VHS,
Ticket to Woodstock.
right? Some grain.
Wow.
so
what do you
yeah.
think?
I mean, just get out of that situation. Just stop. That's not your man anymore.
Well, yeah, he's not
This
gonna
is
last.
Such a stupid. That's such a weird thing where it's like, I've been talking to this girl, but I'm afraid to ask her out. I'm just going to practice on her sister.
Dude, I was a guy
You're such a dumb guy.
in
man.
high school, and I would have like been like, I'm sure this is. Look, if this was true, what it would be, and that's the weirdest thing about this is these aren't true. Like an adult had to sit down and write these things. If you think,
That's weird.
Oh, are
Dude,
they?
look at
I mean,
all those
they're not
cards.
real answers. So, like an adult had to go through and write all these.
Okay.
You think
Write
they
all
stuck
these
any of their own
things.
problems into this? To
Oh
get an
yeah,
answer?
this
yeah.
is somebody's own problem. Dr. Laura said he's a bit of a jerk. She's Brett basically.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a jerk. Let it go. Tell him he made a big mistake and that he can't play people against each other. That's not what he was doing.
Is he
Yeah,
oldest sibling?
He might have been.
He was using you. It didn't. No, it did. Ooh, yeah. Call the
could've been
police.
12.
Yeah, maybe call the police.
He just was doing math.
No, he was trying to get close. You know, you start hanging out with one girl, you get to go to her house, and you're like,
So when you see another girl while you're there, you're like,
Kind of just like her.
yeah, that's like an older,
Yo, she
hotter
looks a
version
lot
of
like
her.
the girl I'm dating.
I'm just saying that, like, your attention when you're young is like, I got a fucking crush on this person.
Yeah.
And then somebody else, like, within 15 minutes, you're like, never mind. This is who I
And you
have.
end that crush for the dumbest reasons. Like they have like snot like a little bit right here once and you're done. Like, the crush
Oh
is
my
gone.
god, this guy one time went crazy because this girl he made out with had really bad nose breath. Like when she breathed out, it smelled so bad.
I
He was
mean,
like,
That's fair.
Yeah.
That is so true. Yeah.
Yeah.
High schoolers are like the Seinfeld cast, so they always find really stupid reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're nitpicky. It's
I mean,
too
I got
much.
broke up once for, like, putting my arm around a girl too much. She was like, you're always hanging on me. And I'm like, all right, fine. I thought that's what you did with a girlfriend. Like, like, I didn't know what the other stuff was for. I don't know. I'm not a very available person emotionally. Like, I just trying to do what people do. Jesus Christ.
That would have been.
Showing
That
the
would have
dick
been.
off.
If you had said exactly that, that would have been like the best explanation.
When I was 14, a girl stopped talking to me because I wore Adidas shoes, and she liked Nike shoes.
Well, I
She wanted
mean,
to-
Checks over stripes.
Yeah.
it makes sense, though,
I've
if you
never
really, if you're
heard
an
that.
Adidas person. If you're like an Adidas person, it's very important that you're with other Adidas people. It's kind of like a thing.
They self-segregate.
I'm kidding.
Okay.
Brett makes fun of me for where I had Adidas shorts and I put on a pair of Nikes once, and Brett was like, "Whoa, what are you perping? Jeez,
Yeah.
out of here." Now I wear Adidas and North Face because I'm old and white.
Grown, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's another nag here, guys? My 8-year-old had a friend over, and some of my son's baseball cards have disappeared. Do you think I should approach the parents of this boy about it? Now that's an interesting question. That is a good one. I will answer first because I read the question, and that's just the way it goes.
It's your show.
No, you do not approach the parents about it because you're afraid of confrontation and you don't want to get in a fight with somebody else's parents, because when somebody fucking tells you, I don't care. Brett is different for me. Maybe I'll address this at Drew. When somebody tells you your kid's bad, you're like, fuck you, man. I'm on my kid's side here. Like, I'm gonna fucking take you down.
Well,
you know?
Okay, so yeah, no, that's a really interesting thing. So my daughter, who is 10 now, she got in trouble last year because she pinched a boy in her class so hard that he bled. And my first impulse was like, all right, that's fucking cool. Like, you know what? She just let him know what was up. She didn't start swinging. And that is what it is. But then I heard the details. The details were they were having quiet time. And he was not being quiet. He was actually pinpointing her and harassing her, and she just casually leans back, pinches him till he bleeds, and he starts fucking crying. And I was like, that's what you get, and you can't fucking hang. Like, if you're gonna come at the queen, you better not start fucking crying when you get pinched.
Yeah.
It's great that he cried. She had to making him cry.
Made him cry.
And
Right,
it doesn't
yes.
bother her anymore during quiet time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Erica, what do you
Pretty
think?
direct message.
Would you go to this other kid's family and be like, "Hey, your son stole my baseball
Fuck
cards"?
no, that's so complicated.
Yeah, just buy him
That's
some
so
new
weird.
fucking baseball cards.
Yeah. So there's two ways to handle it. One is to say to your kid, if you're let somebody else touch your stuff, there's no guarantee you'll ever get it back. Because, like, they take their Pokemon cards to school and shit, and then the rares are all gone, you know? Immediately there's, like, so many cannibalizer kids that just see those cards they want. Oh, let me borrow that, and they never bring it back. So you gotta let your kid know that they'll get stolen. But to the parent, I would call him and I would just say, hey, let me know if you see this stuff. It's missing. I might have got. Might be in this stuff.
I would be like, and then I'd hang up the phone and go over to Katie and be like, Brett's accusing us of Gwen of stealing some shit from Charlotte.
What I would think of is, you don't know, unless you're really familiar with those parents, what if when they hang up that phone, they go beat the shit out of their kid?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
With
And
the
then
phone
they just-
cord. Yeah.
What were you gonna say,
I was
Lindsay?
gonna say,
Leslie.
okay, yeah, well, okay, I would go, this is my kid, so this is just for me. You presumably have a lot of my DNA, so you probably lost those cards yourself.
Okay.
No one who's had anything important has ever been like, let me have my 8-year-old hold on to this. 8-year-olds lose things, and if they got it stolen, it's like, yeah, I'm not getting myself involved.
The world is
got
gonna
it.
steal from you.
It's a
Yeah,
baseball card.
it is. Well, some people
It
don't.
has to
Baseball
be
cards?
a good baseball
It's a
card.
Griffey rookie.
It's a Lou Alcindor. My friend had a Lou Alcindor basketball
That's
card,
Kareem
which is
Abdul-Jabbar.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the record, and he had his rookie card. Got it because his dad died. He didn't get it out of a pack or anything. It wasn't that impressive,
Yeah.
Gwen, you want to come over here and say hi to the people real quick? We got a sullen teen here, but she's being sullen, so
Yeah.
we
Maybe
can't
she
get her
won't.
on
You could
here.
13 days off
She can
school,
come
yeah,
take
that'd
my
be so-
seat.
Okay.
I'll hop off.
Oh,
I'm gonna
thank
get
you,
some-
Erica. Have
Have a
fun.
good
one.
We
Yeah,
missed
you
you, and we'll get you back in here.
Follow her
Gwen,
I'm gonna get some treats.
She's chilling Seymour.
let's talk to some teens. How you doing, Gwen?
Good.
Can you talk louder?
Good.
You look
How you
festive.
feeling? You look festive as hell.
Thank you.
So how's your Christmas season going so far?
Very good.
So very good. What are you hoping to get on Christmas?
Clothes.
What kind of clothes? Adidas or Nike, right?
Adidas.
Adidas, yeah. We're an Adidas family. The
Yeah.
Quimby family's Adidas, even though she wears Nike pants every day. What else we got? Would you go confront... You want to answer a question? You want to answer a Dr. Laura question with us?
Sure.
Let's get a Dr. Laura question out for us here. All right, Terry asked Dr. Laura. Literally for real, it says Terry. I'm not like making it up.
With an eye roll.
Okay.
Why?
I was engaged in 1995, but I haven't been in a serious relationship since then. My mother says I'm too picky, and I feel she's pressuring me by giving her opinion all the time. Help! So what are we gonna do here, folks? What would you do? Is she being too picky? Do you think?
By
Gwen, do you
doing
think?
what?
How old is she?
She was engaged in 1995.
Okay.
But she hasn't been in a serious relationship since then. We're looking at 1999 year
So it's been
2005
4
years. 4
Only
years.
4 years.
And her mom's saying she's being too picky, but she feels she's pressuring her by giving her opinion all the time. And she just wants some help here.
I don't know how old she is.
Let's say she's 35. How's that?
In the relationship or at the end of it?
Right
now.
now.
Now, she was 30 when she was in the relationship.
Okay.
Is she being too picky? She need to go out and get some scumbag off the street. Just any
name's
old
Terry,
fucking
get a Lonnie.
Terry off the street. Yeah, get a Lonnie. Go find a Lonnie. Go find a Pete.
Yeah.
What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah, what do you think,
You don't have
Brett?
to get married. I mean, just focus on doing you, and if it happens, then it does. But yeah, that would bug me also. My mom, thankfully, and my mother-in-law both didn't do any of that bothering. But I talked to the majority of people, and their moms are like, "When are you having a baby? When are you getting married?" And, like really doing it once a week and sending text messages and shit.
I've never. My parents.
But
I don't think they.
that's
care.
why I hang out with everybody I hang out with though is people that told their parents to fuck off and are like, don't be too much in my life or you won't see me at all.
Were your parents weird about it, Drew? Were they trying to get you married?
No, they weren't. I actually got married kind of young.
Yeah.
I got married when I was 24, which is
Okay.
like didn't seem crazy at the time, but
Yeah, it's not
now in
crazy.
retrospect, it's like younger than average. But no, they were not pushing on us to have kids. My dad always told me. I'll tell you what my dad always pushed on me about. My mom never pushed on me because she's like, if I push on him, that means he extra won't do it.
Right.
Because like she knew like what kind of person I was. My dad is like, you need to get a real goddamn job because that internet is going to get turned off.
He's
And
right
I'm
though.
like, well,
Yeah.
it's like, well, the internet started as a government project, and you go, oh, damn it, Drew, I don't care. It's going to get turned off, and Congress is going to make it so you can't sell on there. And I was like, okay, like we'll see how it turns out.
Okay. Yeah,
How's the internet-
Thanks for the advice. I'll keep that in mind.
I do see it from their side, but basically at this point, if you think the internet's going to be turned off, it'd probably be a good idea to have some survival seeds and food buckets in your basement
Yeah.
because that's a big bad thing if the internet goes out.
There was a point, maybe like around 2000, like the Y2K area, like the internet was like the avocado toast of the late 1990s. Like people
Yeah.
that were older just did not understand
Didn't
it.
even
Like,
do
what
it.
the hell is this internet shit? Like,
I want to read you guys Dr. Laura's answer here real
Okay.
quick. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah. And I have a question for Gwen.
Your mother is worrying about you because she wants somebody to take care of you. She's annoying but not evil. Don't push her away. And maybe there's something to what she's saying. Holy shit! This
Yeah.
is the most fucking right-wing game ever
P.S.
made, I
Don't
think.
mix races.
Yeah.
Dr. Laura.
Holy shit, Dr. Laura. Brett
So,
has a question for
Did
you.
you learn anything in 2018? Did you learn anything new or lessons or
She
things to
learned
change
some
your
stuff.
perspective?
I
The new
learned
school year.
about the Enlightenment thinkers and reproductive anatomy, and that's all I remember.
Okay. that's
What
good.
scores-
Those are monumental because you got to know both of those things.
What scores did you get on your last final on about reproductive anatomy?
I got everything about the penis correct. Many questions wrong about the vagina.
Oh,
There's
no.
more parts.
That's
More
patriarchy
parts.
that did that.
Yeah,
That's
I
patriarchy.
said that too. I said the same thing. I was like,
Yeah.
that's probably some shit about how like they don't teach about
Keep women in the dark.
Yeah. It's fine. And by the way, there's less parts in the penis.
Yeah, it's
I think
Essentially,
there's
sure, it's
more.
just one piece.
I feel like we had to learn a lot more.
Well, that's the patriarchy.
Yeah, we spent a lot
There are
more.
like 2 parts to it, 3 parts to it, and they're like, we're going to spend 95% of the time on this, and then the vagina, or the whatever.
You didn't call it the vagina on this show. We're dumb people.
My sex ed in 8th grade was we had abstinence only, and we had to
Yeah.
we had to do skits where we practice how to say no to having sex, which a bunch of 8th graders, like none of us took it seriously.
Yeah.
Like, the funniest sketches
They,
I've ever seen in
they
my
would
life.
give you they would just give you like a piece of paper to read from.
No, they just go, all right, we're going to split you into groups, and you're all going to get up here, and your groups of like 5 or 6, and do a skit about how you can say no to sex. They gave 14-year-olds the most like immature group of people possible. They're like, yeah, this is on you guys.
Get in there.
Gwen, tell them your lesson about when you're ready to have sex.
Which one?
The one about if you like the one about if you hear the word penis. If you
Oh yeah.
if you laugh when you hear the word penis, you're not ready for sex. Okay?
Yeah, they did say that, and then we all started laughing.
I'm 31 years old, and I immediately said,
I know! It's ridiculous. It's like, dude, every fucking adult I talk to laughs when somebody talks about a penis. We and Brett, was that me and you the other day that were talking about how fucking hilarious it is when people moon people?
Oh yeah.
Like, we were just fucking dying
That's the
laughing
funny. I used
thinking
to
about
do
a
it.
hairy, nasty ass.
Hanging out of a window.
when you're driving.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't do
or
it.
somebody else is
Oh,
driving.
like the drive-by.
Yeah.
Drive-by. Oh,
Yeah, honking, and then there's an ass that you have to see. I used to do it all the time. When I did it one time, and we got stuck behind a bus, and this guy comes running up to the car, and he's just beating on the windows like a gorilla. Like we thought he was gonna break them. And he was
You made me look at your goddamn fucking ass!
Brett, when I was about 7, and I lived in Cincinnati, so and it was like an hour school bus ride. It was hell. It was up and down these hills.
Uh-huh.
And one time, there was a car, and I guess the car was behind us or something. I don't exactly remember, but some kids started screaming like, "The guy's mooning us! The guy's mooning us!" And literally, everybody ran to the back of the bus, like. Everybody, the bus driver's fucking screaming. Everybody's like, I gotta see that ass.
Yeah.
It's like some guy's ass.
Yeah.
And everybody from age like 6 to 12 was like, I must see that guy.
Yeah. He's really doing it.
Yeah.
Someone
was-
to believe in.
I was so like that too, man. I just thought it was always hilarious to see somebody's big hairy ass. Just my friends would do it all the time. Would be mooning each other, just like somebody's talking, and you turn around and look. We did this one kid. I'll tell you this trick we did. Maybe you can pull it on somebody. We did this. We told this kid that if you do, we saw it on a horror movie, so everybody's done. Well, we actually pulled it off. Is that it was if I cover your eyes and lay you on the floor, it's
And they get
physically impossible to do a sit
Some
up.
get up.
heavyweights.
And
They get up
yeah,
and into your butt.
yeah, and then you stand over with your pants down and it just like smacks with your butt. It's fucking funny every time it happened, man. And we did it once. We
The
got it
boys
over.
did that at recess to a kid.
Did that?
Tradition is still alive.
The boys at recess just having a
And they
time.
had to go on the wall for the whole rest of the recess. 'cause
Oh,
they
fine.
made
That
it
makes
sad.
sense.
Worth it.
That makes sense. Have you ever been on the wall? Can I ask you?
Yeah.
What'd you get
And
on the
I
wall
cried.
for? What? You cried?
Yeah, because I was talking when the lights were off.
Okay.
It was in 2nd grade.
What?
Why they turn the lights off?
It's
Hold
to
on.
get us quiet.
I need to understand because Gwen, when she was in kindergarten, one time, so they have like the lights, right? Like the traffic lights, red, yellow, green. I think is what it was
Yeah.
basically, right?
There's also an orange added.
And orange is bad. You know, the orange isn't orange on top of red.
No.
It's red's the worst, and then red.
Yellow,
Whatever.
yeah.
Gwen got a yellow one day, and she came home from school and cried about it. And I was like, I don't give a
Tell
shit.
them.
I don't care. Like, I don't care. I always am like, I don't care what you do as long as, like, you're not, like, stealing or doing violence or going to have the cops at my house. Other
Yeah.
than that, I'm totally 100% fine with whatever you do.
That's good.
Yeah, that's the way it works. So, what else have you learned this year? What's been going on? What's the new stuff that's happening around the school? Anything interesting?
Yeah.
Any
Who's the
pop
hottest? Who's
culture?
the hottest YouTube star this year?
Who is the hottest YouTube star right now?
I don't know. I heard that like PewDiePie's having like a fight to get to like the highest number of subscribers.
But he's a Nazi, though. I think the thing
I don't
about
watch
him.
it.
PewDiePie's controversy tab on Wikipedia is
Yeah.
getting longer and
I
longer.
know, I know.
Most of the page.
Who are you watching? You're not watching any Vine? Well, you're watching Vines all
yeah,
day.
I'm
We watch
watching
Vines.
Vines. That's
We
really
love-
all it is.
We
That
love the one
Netflix.
where me and Gwen love the one where the old guy says, "I want to be a cowboy, baby." You see that one? It's
Oh, you
fucking
gotta
awesome,
see
man.
it.
It's
So,
awesome.
like the Vine compilations.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we were watching.
Those are great because if you don't like it, it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next one. My favorite is the one. The guy honks the car horn. Some lady is carrying milk. Yeah, have you seen it? She's carrying 2-gallon jugs of milk, and it's icy. And I mean, I feel horrible for her, but it's also the funniest thing that's ever happened. She's walking, and she's walking very carefully because it's icy. And she walks right in front of a car. And when she's right in front of the car, the person in the car beeps the horn, and then he goes ah, and flings both the jugs of milk.
I fucking love Vine was the best like medium, I think.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
But it
It
wasn't
was.
good when it was around. I didn't feel like there were a lot of people on it when it was around. Like
Vine
it's better
Star
now
was-
that it's gone. I feel.
I mean Vine stars were a thing.
Yeah,
No,
there
there
was
were
lots of
guys
people
called like
Logan
Braden,
Paul.
Cadrinson that were like, I'm on here. You're into. I can tell you what Gwen's into right now. Billie Eilish
Okay.
is a
That's a
singer.
Singer, though.
She's a freaky singer. She put a spider in her
I had
mouth.
to Google her the other day.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Okay.
How do you
I didn't
spell
know
it?
who that was.
Eillish, Billie Eilish.
Okay.
And she put a spider in her mouth. And she
Okay.
dresses weird. I can't get Gwen to dress like her. She wears baggy clothes. She wears like
Is she
Jenkos.
like-
Fun.
Yeah, she looks cool as shit. Yeah, she looks
I don't
cool.
know. She's hipster, I guess. Not
Okay.
really. I don't.
Okay.
Gwen, did you hear that they opened a witch store in Columbus?
No.
You interested? Are you gonna get into witching?
Sure.
Here, I'm
Get
getting
some
Drew a picture of
crystals.
Billie Eilish for the
The one
day.
with like the ink in her eye. That's,
That's
scary
her.
pictures.
She's, like, over
She
as
looks
hell.
like she has a Tumblr account.
Yeah, she's over right now, man. She's selling out concerts everywhere.
And she has that light purple. Well, I guess her hair is all over it.
And she put a spider for real in her mouth, like for real,
Oh,
real.
yeah.
Okay.
I would do it too if
No,
it was
you
like a
wouldn't.
thing.
You would
Dude,
not.
Bullshit.
I
You'd be like,
would-
the consistency, it's freaking me out.
How dare you? I would put a spider in my mouth right now.
No, no.
Would you put somebody would have to pay me. It would be labor to me. I would do it for like $100.
I would do it for $15 right
15.
now. I would put a spider in my mouth for $15
Never get
right
one.
now.
What kind of spider?
I don't fucking care. Any
She had like a
spider.
big
Like
one.
that tarantula? Like
Guys.
a Home Alone spider?
Let me explain something. You eat like 8 spiders every year. That's one of the big facts
Yeah,
that
but
I learned as a kid.
Not ones that got muscles and shit.
Yeah, you do. They climb in your mouth and you
A
eat them.
tarantula climbs in your damn
Well,
mouth?
that's a different thing. I said I'd eat a damn. I'd put a spider in
Daddy
my
long
mouth.
leg in your mouth?
Well,
Yeah.
See,
I would.
They don't go all the way down. They go
No.
in your mouth. They check to see if you brushed your teeth, and they leave.
They climb right out. They went in her mouth. She put it in her mouth. She held it like, up, and then they crawled out and on her face. I'm like, I'd do that. One
Like,
time
all
For the
over
gram?
her.
I held, well, yeah, I'd do it for an Instagram. But one time I held one of those big ass
course.
Madagascar hissing cockroaches. I held it right in my
That's
hand.
so
I was just,
gross.
it felt like a pet, dude. It was so big.
Would you take a bite out of it like a potato chip?
Would I?
Yeah.
I mean, you know me, I'm eating.
Yeah, you're very
challenges. I'm not an
picky.
eating challenge like
Yeah.
sort.
Yeah.
You just
He
said
just
you
had
eat
some-
a spider for $15.
Brett and I want to do a Fear Factor. If that show was still popular, we would do this, a sketch where they set me down for the eating challenge and they're like, now, for the eating challenge, you have to eat an egg salad sandwich. And I'd get up and be like, nope, I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's texture. If your issue is texture, that's.
You don't even
That's
eat eggs.
You don't eat
can't
eggs
a
or
spider.
mayonnaise.
I don't eat eggs or
Or
mayonnaise.
mustard.
Oh, I have been. I've been shamed. I hate mayonnaise.
I hate
Me
mayonnaise.
too.
It has. It
In
has
Ohio, that's
no,
like a cardinal sin. You can't.
Yes.
I hate it.
Yes.
Mayonnaise is like our state food, basically.
No.
It doesn't ever
It's the
add
best
anything.
ingredient for salad.
It doesn't.
It's not
It
good.
doesn't add anything. It's just gloppy. It's like thick.
Rich.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I don't eat it at all. I one time had to tell somebody I was allergic to mayonnaise, and they were like, "You mean eggs?" And I was like, "Nah, just mayonnaise. Whatever's in it, I'm allergic to."
Stop.
I've never liked. Okay, cheese. I hate
Whoa.
cheese. Ever
Cheese?
since I was, I know I'm a freak, but ever since I'm like 3 years old, I hate cheese. I don't eat it. That's my fear factor. It's like macaroni and cheese. But I told
Oh shit, Gwen's gonna cry.
I'm
right
sorry,
now.
Gwen.
Where's
Your
the
life. She's
liver?
like, your life is so sad, Lindsay.
You
It
named
is.
2 of the. I will not eat mac and cheese, and I will not eat mayonnaise.
Mac
and
Which means
cheese?
I won't. I'll eat literally anything.
I like.
I once bought horse meat labeled as dog food so it could be exported from Japan, and I ate it. And
Oh.
It was fine. I won't eat mac and cheese. It's disgusting.
No.
I love mac and
I
cheese.
tell people
man.
I'm allergic to cheese, and they're like, "Oh, dairy," and I'm like, "No cheese."
Just cheese.
Just cheese.
Yeah, Gwen doesn't do a lot of mayonnaise. My
I
wife
like that.
is pissed because she can't keep mayo in the house because nobody eats it.
Yeah.
It goes
Goes bad.
Dr. Laura, hello, Doctor. We're gonna call it Doctor Street Fight because these
Dr.
ones have a
Street
little
Fight.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah, if people can just call themselves doctor, whatever, so can we.
Yeah.
Hello, Dr. Street Fight. My husband and I recently separated, and my 3-year-old son keeps coming into my bed at night. Neither one of us is getting much sleep because I keep carrying him back and forth into his room. What should I do?
Let him sleep in the damn bed
Yeah.
with you. You gotta do it
What's the
for a
fucking
while.
point?
It's like how puppies and monkeys do. We're animals. We don't have souls and shit.
I can tell you how we handled Gwen.
It was not good.
Yeah, that was
Oh
troublesome.
shit, that was the
It was
best.
good idea, like it was good, but it also sucked for me.
You had
Why?
a base camp at the foot of their bed at one
True.
point.
Oh my, not a yeah, like a house. She brought in tables and like a lamp, and she had like a stack of books down. Because I said you can sleep in my room anytime you want, but only on the floor. You're not allowed to sleep in my bed. So she built out like every day just a little bit more shit, just a little bit more stuff, until like a full third of my room was her shit on the floor. And I remember the first time I ever heard her cuss was I yelled, "Gwen, your shit's all over the floor," and she just yelled up the stairs, "My stuff's not shit." And I was like, all right. That's a new thing. Gwen cusses now.
Not
Really?
around
Good for you.
though.
Like a coward. She won't cuss around me, but she cusses now.
With your
Why do you
friend?
cuss? What's the thing?
It's just like a lot of people do. It rubs off.
It rubs off. You're like, I want to
It's
be
a
cool.
bad habit.
Like
Yeah.
these cussy kids. That's not
It's more
bad.
expressive though.
Or you
Good
get
emotional
mad at your
outlet.
teachers.
You get mad,
your
yeah.
teachers.
Yeah, they can be cuss words sometimes.
Who's your worst teacher?
You know who my worst
Don't say it on
teacher
live
is.
stream.
We won't say it
What
on
do
the
they
live
teach?
stream. What class is your
History.
hardest class?
Oh.
Oh no.
I heard about this history teacher earlier.
They're
The
hardcore.
worst.
History teachers are hardcore, all of them. I
Mine
think.
sucks. You know it.
They're like Dan Carlin.
Yeah, hardcore history. No, they're hard. All right.
I don't think I ever had a good history teacher.
Me neither. And they teach it the worst way too in high school. It's like, what kind of shit is this? Like,
I had a good one that was into anime. He was a young guy. He would talk to us about Akira and Robotech and stuff.
That's cool.
oh, here we go. This is good. Gwen's here. I'm a 12-year-old and in the 7th grade. The kid next door and I keep fighting because I always beat him at basketball. Should I still be his friend?
What do you think?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, easy win.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't hurt you.
How could you, like, why would you be mad because somebody, like,
It's bad. at
you should
first.
just fight him every time. And then, like, if you fight him, listen, here's the rule. If somebody gets mad at you for beating them in basketball, you fight them every time and you beat them until they stop getting mad.
But what about, it's like that thing, like you're only as successful as like the 5 people that are around you. So if you know this person is like really bad at basketball, do you really want to be around them? Do you want to give them one of those slots?
Yeah, that's true.
More than anything in the world, when I was 12 years old, I needed things that made me feel good about myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That like
So you would
you're entering adolescence and you just hate everything and you're really insecure. So I would have loved nothing more than a neighbor kid who I could whip his ass at basketball.
For sure.
That's true. And who cares if I used to have a friend that would get so fucking mad he'd be kicking stuff and punching the house and shit. And I always thought it was hilarious. Like, why would you get freaked out and tell an adult about some crazy kid that gets mad when you beat him at basketball?
Yeah.
We used to fucking, like, rile this one kid. Like, there was always a kid in the neighborhood that you would just keep riling up when you played sports with them. And they would just go fucking nuts about stuff. So, what do we got here? What do we got? What kind of, what else is there this year? Is there any good movies this year, Gwen?
I said Infinity War when we talked about it.
Ooh.
She's an Infinity War fan.
It was
Okay.
pretty good, and then you could talk to everyone about it, because, like, everyone saw it.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, it's good. That's good for socializing around.
Halloween.
I didn't see it. Halloween.
Yeah.
How was
'cause It
that?
was, like, my first kind of scary movie, but it wasn't that scary.
Okay.
It's pretty scary.
It was
good.
kind of like The Purge, so it wasn't that scary.
Scarier than The Purge, I'd say.
The first
Yeah.
Purge?
Was that your
I've seen
first
that.
R-rated movie in the theater?
Yeah, maybe.
The first Purge was actually your first R-rated movie in the theater. We went and saw it at the drive-in.
That movie was good.
It was
Not
a good
movie. I like when that guy mows down all those Klansmen. So you've had a good year. You've had a good 2018.
Yeah, I think.
What are you looking forward to in 2019?
This summer.
Me too.
Well, what was the best dance of 2018? Is the shoot the champion?
No.
No?
That
Floss?
looks really gross when you do it.
Come on. Too much hip action?
No, it just doesn't. When you're doing it, you don't feel good about it.
Oh, got it.
You're just
Okay.
like,
So is flossing bad? Is flossing the champion?
no. Maybe whipping.
Whipping?
Was that
Okay.
from last year?
Feels like it was from last
I
year.
I feel like it's from like years ago when
Couple
they were
years
doing
ago.
the nay too.
I enjoy that one.
Is it back? You're already getting nostalgic?
I don't know, but I've stayed true
Yes.
to it.
Gwen is already getting nostalgic. She was in my room the other day watching Hannah Montana. And she was just like, I just miss being a kid when I would just sit around and watch Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus, that show just ended like 2 years ago.
I go back and listen to Hannah Montana by Migos. And
Yeah,
get nostalgic
Hannah
as well.
Brett, I was riding in the car. We finally ditched our old car. We got one that has like the screen on it. And I was scrolling through. We went out to buy my wife Christmas presents, and I said, "You pick," because my daughter was in the car, and she said Migos. So I put it on, and we kind of listened to it for a while, and she already knows the thing with rap, like you can't say what they say, and it's like, and she doesn't.
Well, Dr. Laura doesn't know that.
Right.
Yeah. So she's already ahead of Dr. Laura Schlesinger.
And I was like, because I was feeling smart about myself because Migos came out, 2012, 2013.
Thereabouts.
Yeah.
And it took me a couple years before I realized it meant amigos. And that just is what it is, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
I'm a dad. You see?
Yeah.
So I'm a dad in Ohio, whatever. And I was like, I kind of turned it down when they had one of their songs where it was just like all slurs that Dr. Laura would love. I turned it down and I said, so this rap group is named Migos. She's like, it means amigos. She's like, Offset is in it. And I was like, all right. All right. I'm just going to turn this back up.
Yeah.
We're just going to
knew what you were going to say.
Gwen told me what Offset did to Cardi B the other day. Just got in the
Oh
car. It's
my
like, did you hear
God.
about Offset and Cardi B? It's like,
Well, what Dr. Laura have to say about that?
I don't know.
I don't-
Explain
I
to
don't
the,
want to hear him.
She probably
probably
she's got all the
really
wrong
enjoy it.
opinions.
explain to the people what Offset did to Cardi B.
He like
Gwen.
interrupted her concert and begged for her forgiveness and to like get her back.
Yeah.
I didn't. enjoy it.
Man,
Big
Men
blunder.
are trash, Gwen.
don't ever do anything in public like that. Like, I wish they
We
would.
talked
They,
about that, like kiss cams.
yeah, don't. They should just outlaw kiss cams and proposals at like Yankee games and shit. Fucking outlaw it because it's horrible.
Because if she says no, they might have been dating for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And if she says no, she's a bitch.
Mm-hmm. I told Gwen, I was like, I'll just say yes no matter what, and then cut it off when I leave. That's
See-
probably what happens most of the time.
Yeah, that does happen. Yeah, but and then you're just,
She's like, I
you're
don't
just
even like the Knicks.
right. Then you're just further down the slope though, where like then you have to tell them the truth later, and they're like, "But I believed it. You know, you're gonna embarrass me. You know, it's a weird situation."
You get in
It
the
is.
car after you do. So you were. Let's say you're at let's say the Ohio State Buckeyes game. In the middle of this fucking game, they let everybody come out during. They let you come out during halftime and ask Erica to marry you. Or let's flip it around. Erica comes out and asks you to marry her. What? And let's say you don't really want to.
That's
What do
hard
you
to-
say?
That's hard to imagine.
No,
I would love to get asked in front of everybody like that.
Well, I mean, if you didn't want to, what do you say? Like, what do you even say? I say yes, and just I'll deal with it in a fucking car.
I would probably just burst into tears and run away.
No,
I would do that.
I'm a deal with it in the car guy. What do you think, Drew? Could you imagine even doing that?
So that's so hard because
That's how you got engaged.
I'll tell you how I got engaged when I was 24. I was sitting at the kitchen table with my wife, who already lived with me, and we were just talking. We were like, "Yeah, we should probably get married." And then the reason we didn't just do it is because her mom called. She called every day. And she was like crying. She was like, "Don't you want a cake?" And we were like, "Okay, we'll do it in our apartment. You can come over." But I think especially the idea, because it's always the man that asks the woman, and so there's this whole thing. I think it should be illegal to do that. Just because
Should just be outlawed?
Because of the way that society works.
Yeah.
Like you can't, like, if a woman, if your wife asked you out, nobody knew, and she dragged you out on the field in front of everybody and said, "Brett, would you marry me?" And you're like, "No, I'm sorry, I can't do this." Everybody in the stadium would be like, "Yeah, well, she shouldn't have done that because that's fucked up."
Yeah.
Nobody would ever say that.
Yeah.
If you dragged your wife out and you were like, "Please, my beautiful, would you marry me?"
They expect
They'd
men.
be like, "He's so romantic. She's such a bitch because she said no."
Yeah, men are supposed to catch women,
The
right?
booze would
Yeah, it's
rain
like a
down.
hostage situation when
Yeah,
you
it is.
like
That's
do it
what
in
I think.
public. It's like,
That's what kiss cam is.
You,
Yeah,
you love me, right?
yeah, come on.
It's like the kiss cam thing sucks too because like basically they're just going around looking for men and women sitting next
That
to
could be
each
her
other.
brother.
And basically that's what they're looking for is men and women sitting next to each other thinking that they're dating. I'm like, men and women hang out for like all sorts of different reasons and that aren't dating. And I don't want to kiss anybody really except for the wife over there. That's it. That's all I'm kissing.
Oh, if there was kiss cam on us, I'd kiss you.
You kiss me?
Yeah.
I'd let you. No, I'd French you if there was a kiss
Think
cam
how
on.
often the kiss cam scans pass like same-sex best friends.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Like, oh,
Do
there's
they
best
ever even
friends.
do that?
That's a cute group of best friends,
No,
and
they
it's
don't.
like they're clearly they started to look alike.
All
and, like,
over each other.
Is there anybody? Has anybody ever seen like a same-sex kiss on a
I
kiss
think
cam?
once and it like went viral.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's
It
like
was
sort of.
so cute and unique, but all the comments were like pretty hate-filled.
Oh God! Well, the
God.
comments on everything are hateful.
Oh, yeah.
That's the internet.
And
It's
it's like
hate.
a dog birthday party, and they're like, "We gotta stop letting immigrants in this country."
That's what YouTube back in the day, and I don't know if it still does because I don't read YouTube comments anymore. But Jesus Christ, like as soon as you opened up YouTube, it had the N word. Was like
Yeah.
always like the first comment. It's like
I saw
Jesus.
someone shared something like one of my friends shared on Twitter, like, "This is the most shocking YouTube comment I've ever seen." It was someone going, "You know what? I never thought of it that way."
Yeah. That
I think
is.
you might be right.
If I did kiss cam though, I would probably kiss the person next to me because I'm not weird. I don't care. I'm weird in a way of like, I just want to perform for people. You know what I mean?
See, that's not good though. It's like
Yeah.
pressuring.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people don't want to perform though, and I guess they probably ask you before they do it. If somebody
know if
said
they
they do
do.
same-sex kisses on Pride Night, so when they do Pride Night,
Yeah.
they'll do those
I went to
same-sex.
Pride Night at this White Sox game, and it got rained out like 3
Oh no. Did
three
you-
innings in. No.
what?
Yeah, it was
They ain't gonna do it again when
God's
they.
vengeance.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't. Did they redo it? Like they're not gonna be like, well,
Oh,
now
no,
we're gonna
but
do
like, you
another
get
Pride
one
Night.
Pride Night a year. That one, we got rained out.
So, geez. Well, here, let's do this. This is a teach card. This is a little different. Thank you, Dr. Laura. I'm interested in dating a man who went out with my roommate 2 or 3 years ago. They're not interested in each other anymore, but we're all friends. Should I go out with him? My answer? Whatever. I don't
No.
care. She
Don't go all
own-
in on that. Get your
I
own.
said
Well.
no.
They don't own each other. That's my whole thing about that sort of thing. It's like I understand that emotionally it's tough, you know, but I don't feel like those people own you for the rest of
But
your
when
life.
if it's not the one for the rest of your life, then it just creates a new problem.
That
Are you
might be
telling
true.
me they're not into each other, or are they telling you that they're not into each other?
Well, yeah, that's the other thing too. It's
Yeah.
like if they're telling you they're not into each other, they're chances are they're
And
asking.
every day I come home, she tells me how much she's not into him.
That is such a fucking that is so true. So I think we're gonna go around the table. We're gonna see what we want for Christmas this year, whatever it is. And because I want to be able to get people on the chat. This is for the people in the chat, really.
Okay.
If you don't want to participate, you're fine. It can be a thing. Let's say a thing, and also like a overarching thing. You know what I'm saying? Like a thing and an idea. Does that sound right to
A
everybody?
tangible thing.
A tangible thing that you can hold and an idea. How's that sound to you?
Sure. Can you lead us off?
Yeah, I absolutely am going to. So, and we need people to do this in the chat, okay? So just tell us what you want for Christmas, whatever. I want the government to fall apart completely and be gone and disintegrate. And I also want a pair of Adidas shorts with a zipper for the pocket.
Okay. Good choice.
So, do you want to go next, Drew? Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a little weird to go right after you. I specifically asked for Adidas track pants.
Oh, wow.
From my family, I prefer the ones that zip because then your stuff doesn't fall out when you get in the car.
That's me.
And I asked for the fitted ones because my legs are about 18 inches long. And so
Okay.
the fitted ones, it's like an optical illusion. It makes me look like I'm proportioned normally. So I'm like 3/4 torso.
Okay.
So I get the fitted ones, and then the idea is just that it's okay to wear track pants to court, I think.
Okay, yeah, it's true.
I like that.
It's
I
true.
want that
You can't kick
too.
you out of court in track pants.
They can't kick you out, but you're going to jail. If you do that, right? You know, you need to at least put on jeans when you go to court. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, well, I can't make you leave, but you're definitely going to jail tonight.
Right.
Josh, do you have anything? Like an idea and a tangible thing.
You know what I want? I want Amtrak to come through Columbus.
Okay.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
can take a Greyhound to Cleveland, but there's no train here. I would like for this city to be connected in that way.
Nice, nice. That is a good thing.
And a Nintendo Switch.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gwendolyn, you got anything here?
I want bedding or clothes. But
Okay.
like an idea, I don't know.
You don't know?
School to change?
School to change like how?
Like it doesn't teach you a lot.
Okay.
Like that you're gonna use.
You want your school to be more like how your dad teaches you stuff.
You want to teach how to do
Like Dr.
promote
Brian.
Like how
Yeah.
to do stuff like on your phone and stuff.
promoting
Like,
Instagram ads for your MLM marketing.
Well,
to
we
sell,
we
like,
learn
tights.
like internet safety, but like not well.
Yeah.
Like they talk about like Facebook and stuff, and no one has that. Like
Sure.
that's not gonna help us.
I want to
That's
read this
funny.
comment from Fired for Anime in the chat, guys. When I was 11 years old, I got interviewed by the local paper, and all the kids in front of me were asking for computers and expensive shit. So I asked for a new blanket and some micro machines. Then all my grandma's friends were asking if we were okay.
Oh no.
Is everything cool here?
Yeah.
You know?
He doesn't have a blanket? He
You okay,
doesn't?
buddy?
I can get a blanket for him.
All I want for Christmas is a worker dictatorship and a pair of Gap khakis from Peach Bus. Lindsay, do you have ideas?
So next month, I want Donald Trump to just violently poop his pants during the State of the Union.
Okay.
Because he'll die from it, but because all like the MAGA people will have to be like, well, who hasn't pooped their pants until they
Yeah, that's true.
and
Yeah.
Yes.
and I want a new phone.
Okay, but I like the idea. Like, here's the problem with Donald Trump shitting himself in front of people, is he will also just skate in the media, where the media will be like, you know, some people think it's weird that Donald Trump shit his
They're
pants
gonna
on
call
the
us ableist
stage.
for like laughing at it, and I'm gonna feel awful.
But the media would be like, well, Donald Trump doesn't mind it, and then it's Donald Trump standing on stage like, hey, I poop. What are you gonna do? You know? What do you want, Brett? What you got? You got anything?
I don't know. I can't think too much right now. I want, like, a lot of shoes. Like, I sent probably 10 different types of shoes for 10 different scenarios my feet could be in as Christmas requests this year. So
Are you turning into a shoe guy, like right in front of me?
Yeah, I've always been one. I used to have so many, but I've finally gotten to the point where I'm just, like, letting go and giving in. Too many shoes, though.
Yeah, yeah. Legal weed everywhere for Christmas. Teach kids the evils. Oh no, that's something different.
For
So,
the,
yeah.
For the world, I went. This happened earlier this week. I want there to be less hipster businesses in the future. That's what I want, because I went to this bagel shop called The Locks. It just opened up, and we were just going because it's near my wife's office, and on Fridays she has to buy breakfast for the office. We go in there and we're like, we want a dozen bagels, and they're like, we can't give you a dozen bagels. We just make them like one at a time as you order them. And I was just like, what the fuck
I'm gonna go out
is
to talk to
this?
the manager.
Yeah.
Like, I can't.
Like,
I
do you
can't
want to
wrap my mind
make?
around this?
Do you want to make money? Are you here to sell bagels, or are you here because you got a $200,000 loan and decided to make a place that you thought it would be cool to sell?
Edison lights. They
Yeah.
got the
No, it was
Edison
so-
lights. It's a coffee shop, right?
Yeah, the whole thing, the whole inside was just all of this, the like new hot restaurant starter meme. You know, starter
But
pack
that's the
meme.
fucking thing about a lot of these places. You go in and there's no fucking product. Like if you go to like one of those hipster like artisan donut shops, a lot of time you go in there, they got 7 donuts in there just sitting out, and you gotta like stand around
Yeah.
like, fuck, I guess I'll take these 7 donuts you have.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they're not prepared for business at all.
No,
and
no.
like it's like with bagels, it's like in Columbus, you can just go to Block's Bagels and get really great bagels, but the ambiance in the place isn't exactly beautiful.
no.
That's what Chicago is. I'm like, I just want a Tim Hortons glazed donut.
Yeah.
And you can't get that. It has to have like Christmas ornaments on it. And
Well,
you're like,
Yeah.
And another thing about like Columbus, I think it's Columbus, because we've been to a few other cities sort of like Columbus, is they have an inferiority complex with the big cities. So they're basically building what they think they see when they're in like a New York or an
Yes,
LA or
they
a
are.
Chicago.
Yeah, and they don't know their market. Like, we just want Tim Hortons, and
Yeah.
we want Wendy's, and we want Donato's.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, I'm not against it. I figured, like, you have a badass bagel recipe. You think you can make money off of it. That's the reason you would open a business. And I just forget that people just want to be entrepreneurs, you know, and just want to waste a whole bunch of money and do that, and not even provide like a good service or a
Just a
product.
regular bagel.
Right. Because I worked at like a donut shop before, and the goal was to roll more dough. Like, I wanted more money. That's what I did. You know, I was excited when we made more donuts because I made more money. It wasn't. I wasn't worried about handcrafting this experience these people are gonna have with the donuts. You know.
Yeah. Well, and it's just like, again, like you said, not passionate about it. They just want a cool business to open. It's like bagel isn't a cool business to open.
like
Open a
I'm hungry.
motherfucking bagel shop. Yeah. You want to open a cool business? Open a skating rink.
We have better bagels here than we do in like Chicago.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
New York has really good ones. The
New
thing
York.
I like about Chicago and New York is that all the little things are mixed in. Like that, so there are artisan places that sell great things there, but there's also normal fucking places that you can just go into and get a $1 cup of coffee and like something regular.
Yeah.
Where here,
75-cent bagel.
yeah,
Like every day, because in like Chicago or New York, it's like $10, $12 a day. Whereas like in Columbus, you can just go through the drive-thru at Tim Hortons and get your coffee, and get your everything bagel, and it's like $1.50.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. So I think we got this, but I wanted to give what I wanted to do. I'm sorry I didn't get everybody something, but since I got Brett a special Christmas present, separate from the one for his family, I would like to give Brett a Christmas present just to start some Christmas cheer on the podcast. Does that sound cool?
Sounds good.
Let me hand Brett his present. Here you
Wow.
are, my sweet.
Wow.
That's your present. This is not a joke present, but maybe it is.
Is this your handwriting?
I
way.
don't ask questions
Did you wrap
about your
this?
present. Don't look a gift ham in the mouth.
Did you wrap it?
Maybe. Not.
Obviously
I
You
didn't.
didn't? You
I
gotta wrap.
bought it.
You have to wrap.
I did the buying and the wife did the wrapping. I would have
Women are
wrapped it.
expected to wrap way more than guys.
Buddy, I would have
Let you
wrapped
do all
it.
the
She
labor.
did it while I was out doing
She
something.
is not your gift wrapper.
She's not. I agree. She's not. I deserve that. I deserve to be yelled. I knew he was going to bring that up, by the way. I knew it.
Then why didn't you come correct?
Because what am I going to do? Unwrap it and then wrap it? She wrapped the goddamn thing when I wasn't home.
I hope it's a gumball.
I hope it's one of those things that jumps out at him.
Oh, yes! Yes! I just burned a hole through these are new slippers.
Hey, there you go.
I got him those he wears these wild slippers for all the listeners
yeah,
out
I
there.
just-
Green.
my green slippers I had to throw away because there was a hole in the bottom of them. So these are my new house shoes.
Really sweet that you know his shoe size.
I asked his
Oh, let's
wife.
be
That
real.
I asked his wife. But I did know that he needed. Those are the insoles. I don't know what they are. They just add things, and they're just like you know.
These
you
are
wanna,
exciting. These are my favorite slippers.
Yeah, they're weird looking. They look like moon boots on your
Dad's
feet.
gotta have a good pair of
Yeah,
slippers, though.
they're
Yeah.
important. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. No problem. I love giving presents. Actually, I don't love giving
No,
presents. It
you
makes
like
me nervous
receiving.
every year.
Yeah, you overthink it.
I do. I overthink it. So it's been a
I'm excited.
wonderful Christmas time so far. We're all heading into Christmas Eve tomorrow. It's Christmas Eve, not Christmas Steve. That's a little
Okay.
joke I do every year
Okay,
right around this
warm
time.
up.
A little warm up.
Preach.
And, you know, I'm glad we had Lindsay. Erica is gone. Gwen, thank you for coming on the show. Josh, you've been around all year, and it's been very great to have you in the studio. It's nice to have somebody around when we do these shows. And Drew, it's been great meeting you this year. It's been fucking great because we don't have a lot of peers in town, and it was nice to meet somebody that kind of, you know, does what we do. You know.
Yeah, and you've been a big help on Street Fight Sharks.
Hey, glad
Hell
to
yeah.
do it. It's a lot of fun. It's always fun, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely do more of those street fight shark, street shark.
I just
Fight.
Street Shark Tank.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, sweeties, we love you out there. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, the other ones too. I could like,
And the rest.
Wow.
yeah, the
Gumball's
rest.
hiding. I can't get a gumball pick.
Festivus for the rest of us,
Yeah.
right? Brand Paul did this like really corny thread today. He does a Festivus airing of grievances bit every year. It's straight up just a bit this guy's doing, but he's fucking Rand Paul. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not funny or clever or cool. It's just, can you imagine how bad Rand Paul is at comedy?
Yeah, that's weird.
All right, sweeties. We'll see y'all later on. We'll be back next week. We just wanted to do a Christmas show. We'll have one more show in 2018. We got to record 2 more shows.
Yep.
One more Undercover Boss.
Yep.
Thank you.
Peace.
Good night.
Thanks.
Woo!
All right. I'm hot.
Me too.
Do you guys have any more like other like undercover bosses like